You know, I wrote a review about Plot Diggers, Gutterballs, directed by Nicholson, a long time ago. Like, it was one of the first, or maybe not one of the first, but kind of like in the middle of the first decade that I ran ZombiesDon'tRun.net and did reviews. This one came through with, I don't remember the company, but it was a DVD, it was Gutterballs, and it wasn't like one of the 5,000 other variants of the film, but I got to review it then, and I loved it, and I love it now. But now it's on Blu-ray from Unearthed Films. Now, this is the single disc version. There is a 2-disc version, and we'll get into all the details of this one here in a second. But if you've never seen the movie, it's a modernized indie horror, extreme indie horror slasher by the late, some say great, Ryan Nicholson, because I like a majority of his films. And it features the plot of like two rival bowling teams that kind of get into a bit of a fight one night while they're trying to bowl, and one of them's girlfriend ends up getting savagely raped by the other team. So when they return the next day for after hours bowling, all of a sudden a mysterious name on the player chart pops up, BBK, which is the bowling bag killer, and ends up cutting through these people in very gruesome and graphic fashion, fashionable ways. Uh, in my idea, or I should say, in my opinion, this is a modern masterpiece. This is from, as I scramble for the year 2008. Probably would have been my favorite film of 2008. Probably one of my favorite slashers of that decade, if not the favorite slasher. When it comes to indie slashers, this is like the epitome of indie slashers, in my opinion. I don't think Ryan Nicholson ever reached this again. And I remember when I first seen Famine, which is the only other Unearthed Blu-ray of his that's out right now as of this video. I was very disappointed in it because I don't think it ever reached to this level, and this was the level I was going for. Just gruesome kills, extremely violent. It's very vulgar. There's quite a bit of nudity in it. Women bend over without underwear. Typical breasts. People get killed in sexual positions. It's that type of thing. But one of the more probably overlooked aspects of it, when you look past the gore and you look past all the bells and whistles that this thing has, not to mention the unique setting that it has, because how many slashers take place in a bowling alley? You have Dan Ellis, who I think is a modern day master of horror acting, and he was in Ryan Nicholson's other film, The Bleeding Lady, also known as Star Vehicle. He was in another one, I think the second American Guinea Pig movie. The guy's great, and he's great here as like the bowling alley manager, and he just plays like a very unique character, and I think he really stands out in a very good way. Of course, he plays a pivotal role in the plot as it goes on, and if you were going to give any kind of an award to an actor for any kind of independent horror film, especially extreme independent horror, I believe Dan Ellis at this point needs an achievement award, but he especially needs an award for his performance here. I love it that much. The other characters, a little hit and miss. They're probably the only reason I wouldn't give this a perfect 5 out of 5. Because there are some annoying characters in this movie, but that only means you want to see them die that much more, and usually most of them die in pretty gruesome ways. And there is a pretty interesting plot that has some twists along the way that I'm not going to spoil, because if you've never seen it, you need to go see it. You need to pick this up. There's this version. There's a 2-disc version, but now the one thing I want to say is I don't know what Gutterballs was filmed on. The DVD looked okay for what it was, but if you're heading into this Blu-ray and you're expecting this movie to look really, really good, this movie does not look that good. I'm going to be inserting screenshots directly from the disc throughout this review, and I just want you to know that those are top quality, and that's unfortunately how this thing looks. I don't know if it was shot on some kind of digital video. I don't know if it was actually real film. If it, in the case of it being perhaps real film, I think it might have been a situation of the lighting might have been off or something, because things just do not look very good. That being said, the movie is still great, and also available on this being just a single disc version, you have the penetration edition, which is, from what I can tell from what I watched, a much more graphic rape scene. And what that means is you have up close vaginal exposure here on screen, and we have what I read was a rubber penis that actually penetrates, and there's some other graphic stuff of that nature there. So that version is here. That was a whole other version you had to buy separate back in the day. So it's great that Unearthed actually put that on here. You also get a commentary with director Ryan Nicholson behind the balls, the making of Gutterballs, and a photo gallery. That's all right here on this one. Like I said, there's a 2-disc version, I think, which has maybe a whole lot of extra interviews or something to go along with it, or a soundtrack or something like that. There's a 2-disc version. I don't really know what's on that because I don't have that. But as for just the standard Gutterballs Blu-ray, it's very much worth owning. Probably, in my opinion, the greatest Ryan Nicholson movie ever made. It's a 4 out of 5. Uh, as far as looks go on Blu-ray, it doesn't look good. If you had to do like a 5 scale, it probably looks maybe a 2 out of 5. It's above Troma's Rabbit Granny's Blu-ray, but it's still way down the ranks of good-looking Blu-rays. But I love having it on Blu-ray, and I love having the penetration edition on it. So for that alone, plus I think the other DVD's out of print, I would say pick this up. Unearthed Films, distributed by MVD. It's Gutterballs. It's the second Plot Digger film to be released from Unearthed Films. I'm not sure. I think the next one might be Live Feed. I'm not sure. But I want every one of these because I was a fan of Ryan Nicholson. I never had any problems with him. Of course, I never tried to back any of the stuff. But the man's not here, but he did some good work. And I'm hoping that, as of right now, I think the plan is to have pretty much all of his stuff come out through Unearthed on Blu-ray. So I'm looking very much forward to that. Although, while some may say Hanger or something like that, or maybe even The Bleeding Lady, which is really good, for my money, this is the greatest thing he did. So, if you have seen it, this is a good version to own, just to have that in the penetration edition and everything all here. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. So, Gutterballs.